We all know I had an incident with my coffee maker a few weeks ago. If you weren't aware, I made a couple live streams discussing it. My old coffee maker started making coffee that tasted like the sequel trilogy. So without thinking, I ordered a new one on Amazon. And long story short, it didn't go well because I didn't have a plan, just like the sequel trilogy. During that weekend, I decided I was just going to go out and buy coffee. I tried out Dunkin' Donuts. Usually they're pretty good, but it just wasn't doing it for me. It was watery and maybe it was just in my head, but it was still giving me that sequel trilogy feeling. So I went out again later that day and for some reason, I went to Starbucks. I ordered a venti coffee with cream. I specifically told them, no soy. Do not put soy in the coffee. I started drinking it. This was right around the time I heard Elon Musk was buying Twitter, and I just started to get a little angry. And it's not my usual kind of anger. I was getting agitated and I felt real whiny. That's when I knew they fucking put soy in the coffee. This was another soy poisoning. I thought about my last video I made while I was being poisoned by soy, how Attack of the Clones was actually a woke movie. And it started to calm me a little. I wasn't so triggered by the Elon Musk purchase. I was channeling my inner soy at Star Wars. So I decided, why not cap off the prequel trilogy with how Revenge of the Sith is actually a woke movie. I shot and edited the video, but it's been on the shelf for a while. I just finished editing it recently. I hope you enjoy it. Become a knight, subscribe to the channel. Hello there. Oh, soy-induced Melvin coming at you. I was a little pissy earlier, but then I started thinking about how Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith was actually a woke movie. The movie starts out in space. There's a lot of ships burning fuel, shooting and killing each other, but what's very progressive about this space battle is, one, it takes place in space. Space is black. It's not white like the racist Camino. Space is much more inclusive, and the fact that this battle takes place in space, the ozone layer on Coruscant is not being depleted, increasing global warming. According to AOC, we only literally have 12 years left on planet Earth before we all die. Can you imagine how much time they have left on Coruscant? Sweetie, that planet will be dead by next week. We all know Palpatine is a racist, but who knows, maybe they have democratic leadership governing Coruscant. They have stricter mandates leading to less CO2 being polluted in the air, or maybe they don't rely on fossil fuels. Solar and wind power, baby. Oh! The next thing I want to point out is the emphasis of human privilege. George does a very good job early on giving the droid screen time. R4 is murdered, and even though the bigoted Obi-Wan played it off kind of casually with a one-liner,
oh dear.
it still was powerful that R4 was given an important send-off, and his loss of life sets the tone for this movie. He's the first death of a character we know on screen. Then we get to Grievous's ship. R2-D2 is showing off his abilities. It's not all about the toxic men and their lightsabers. We are getting some representation of oppressed, non-human life, and I just think it's beautiful and progressive.
We got him, R2.
That takes us to the Dooku fight.
You won't get away this time, Dooku.
Dooku kicks their ass again, and I think it's sweet that George Lucas really represented the elderly in the prequel trilogy. Now that being said, I absolutely loved when Anakin killed that racist white male. Oh, it's just fabulous. I love seeing death of white people. Then we get to the Jedi Master scene. I love how a black man is putting a white man in his place.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
What?
Anakin has been denied the rank of master. Anakin needs to check his privilege. He's too young and inexperienced to be a master. He's so disgusting. He thinks because he's a white male that's friends with another racist white male that he's entitled to this role. Well, he's not. The Jedi Council has always been super woke in the prequels, and we have George Lucas to thank for that. Then Anakin is complaining about it after the meeting.
What kind of nonsense is this? Put me on the council and not make me a master? It's never been done in the history of the Jedi. It's insulting.
Shut up. He's really displaying his white fragility. He's just a toxic man baby. The problem with Anakin and his arc in this movie is he never wants to accept his white privilege. He thinks he's entitled to more power. That leads him to commit a hate crime against Mace Windu, resulting in the death of a black man. Anakin Skywalker is a racist. Palpatine might be the most racist man in the galaxy, but damn, he surrounds himself with a diverse group of people. No white males here. Anakin is just being a racist and mansplaining the whole movie.
Obi-Wan and the council don't trust me.
That takes us to the arrest of Palpatine. Palpatine makes quick work of the other Jedi, but Mace Windu, a black man, was not killed. In fact, he held his own and defeated Palpatine. Depending who you talk to, Palpatine may have thrown the duel to set a trap. Well, you're just a bigot. Mace Windu overpowered a racist white man. I know Star Wars Episode 3 is a woke movie, but for the plot, Anakin committed a horrible hate crime which resulted in him becoming Darth Vader. Then he storms the Jedi Temple. Now, I know there was a lot of death of, let's say, innocent people. We don't know their political views. We don't know their voting history. But the clones are an oppressed group killing the Jedi, which were human privileged. They don't face the same oppression as clones. They don't understand how a clone struggles. And they are privileged in many other ways too. So the fact that an oppressed group killed the fuck out of them, I don't care, and I just see it as progressive. Now, I know people are going to want to cancel me. Look, I don't condone what Anakin did, but it's just a movie, and the kids were mostly white. I'll just leave it at that. They probably would have grown up to be racist anyways. Probably would have been anti-masks too. Gross. And no one cares about how he killed the Sand People, who are also minorities and extremely oppressed. But we're concerned over a handful of white human-privileged younglings. That's the completely horrible act. There's no consistency there, and it's racist. And if Anakin wasn't already racist enough, he proves he's a raging misogynist and chokes out Padme.
Let her go, Anakin!
I don't like Obi-Wan Kenobi because he's also a racist, but I really enjoy how he fucking cancels Anakin right here. Oh! Now, another reason why Revenge of the Sith is a very woke movie is because of what happened to Anakin. He had his legs cut off and was no longer an able-bodied person. He now belongs to an oppressed group, and now they're getting representation. To take it even further, he becomes a cyborg. Merging a human with machines is very progressive. We've taken a big step forward from the previous two movies where the droids were being oppressed. Now they are getting screen time and merging with the biological privileged. We even had a cyborg earlier in the movie, General Grievous. He was an important villain who received a lot of screen time. Then the movie ends perfectly. Obi-Wan Kenobi is essentially cancelled and has to live the rest of his days out of society, rotting on a boring sandy planet. I wish we could send all the white people to Tatooine. And there you have it. Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith was a very woke movie. George Lucas really needs to be rewarded for making 3 progressive films from 1999 to 2005. The concepts he touches are way ahead of its time, and I hope this little mini-series has shed new light on the prequel trilogy. Now that I've done these movies, a lot are expecting me to probably fucking poison myself with soy again and talk about the original trilogy. But those movies are far from woke. They are racist and bigoted. Oh! Make sure to like and subscribe, share the video as well, check me out on Instagram, I have many pictures of my ass, and join the Knights of Melvin Discord.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.